Hello guys, welcome back to Sports Corner GH. My name is Adam. So guys, today is Monday, the beginning of a new week and also the last week of the month of September. I pray God answers all your prayers for the last week in September. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to talk about Ghana versus Rwanda. Yes, our Black Queens are going to play. I'm going to give you all the details of that particular game live here on Sports Corner GH. We are also going to talk about Chris Hughton. Chris Hughton is scouting. He's scouting players not only for the Black Stars, but for the other Ghanaian national teams. He's scouting, and then I'm going to talk about in the games he went to watch and all those things. I'll discuss that live here on Sports Corner GH. I'm also going to touch on players who played over the weekend that I was not able to talk about. The likes of Joseph Pencil, Antoine Semenyo, Alexander Djiku, and a lot. So guys, if you have not subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. If you have already subscribed too, thank you very much, and may God richly bless you. Also, don't forget, our giveaway is almost coming to an end in the month of September. Comment under this video and any other video we drop here on Sports Corner GH and stand a chance of winning yourself a free jersey of your choice. Please make sure to participate. So guys, quickly, let me jump into it and begin with our Black Queens. So the Black Queens are going to face off in the second leg of the Women African Cup of Nations qualifiers here in Accra against Rwanda. Now, the first leg was played in Kigali Pele Stadium, and the Black Queens won by 7-0. In fact, that was a humiliating scoreline, and I came here and I asked you guys that, see, comparing the Black Stars and the Black Queens, if they play together, who is going to win? Honestly, I'm going to pick the Black Queens because the Black Queens coach is doing a great job. Wonderful job. You could see a clear pattern of play. You could see an identity on the team. You could see that they were playing a lot of attacking football, which was very brilliant. And after they won 7-0 against Rwanda, Rwanda went ahead to sack their head coach. In fact, it was humiliating enough for them to sack their head coach. And the head coach said something about the Black Queens. She said Black Queens were up there and then they had a way of playing that could actually end up getting them a trophy. So whilst they are coming to Ghana here, Accra, for the second leg, they might collect even 10-0. Yes. 10-0. Now, the good news I have for you about this match is that it's going to be played at the Accra Sports Stadium. And honestly, it is free. Yeah. It is free. So if you are around Accra, it is 4 p.m. If you have closed from work, it's tomorrow. If you close from work, you can pass through the Accra Sports Stadium, 4 p.m. Support the Black Queens. It is free. Yeah, it is free. Just go there, sit anywhere you like, whether the VIP, whether the C section, anywhere. Sit and then enjoy the Black Queens as they play against Rwanda in the second leg of the Women African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Now, you already saw what they did to them in the first leg. I don't need to say much more. We all know the Black Queens are going to win. We just want them to win with, a surprising scoreline. Maybe the 7-0 now would be good, but probably 10-0 wouldn't be a bad scoreline, in my own opinion. So, guys, that's the latest concerning the Black Queens as they play against Rwanda. Now, moving away from that, let's talk about Chris Hughton. Now, Chris Hughton is honestly doing something I believe is very commendable because he promised that when he becomes the coach and has time, and he's still in Ghana here, he's going to watch some few games here in Ghana in the Ghana Premier League. In fact, he's not only watching the Ghana Premier League, he's also watching Division 1 teams play. Now, over the weekend, Chris Hughton has been in Ghana watching a lot of games. In fact, he was at the BBN Gold Stars versus Asante Kotoko game. He watched that game. Let's not forget, he's still scouting players. And ever since he took the job, he has brought in some few, Ghana Premier League players that you have seen. Hafiz Untakonkoni, he has brought in Jonathan Sowa, Hamidou Fatal. He's still scouting for players to see if he can bring some of them into the Black Star squad. Let's not forget, he went to Bafakwa Kano to watch some games there. I hope I got the name right. He went there, watched some games, also the Ghana Premier League games. He even went to Kibi. People will call it Chibi. Yeah, he went there to watch some Division 1 games there. I mean, he's doing so well with the smallest time he has here in Ghana to watch all those games and actually see if he can scout players for the Black Stars or the other national teams here in Ghana. And he's doing an excellent job with that. And I hope that, when the Black Stars are playing, he's going to, put his imprint on the team so that we see a different Black Stars come in the next month and also in November when we play the World Cup qualifiers. So guys, that is the latest concerning Chris Hughton. Now let's talk about players who performed over the weekend. Now, I was not able to touch on a lot of players. And over the weekend, it rained light off here and there. You know how Ghana is. Light off here and there. So I wasn't able to touch on a lot of players. But I want to touch on some players who did very well that I wished I had touched on over the weekend. And I'm going to talk about Alexander Djiku. Now, Alexander Djiku plays for Fenerbahce. And Fenerbahce played with Allianspor. And that game, Fenerbahce won the game, but Alexander Djiku is becoming one of the top defenders in the Turkish Super League. Now, according to WAFCON analysis, it says that Alexander Djiku is the most effective defender in the Turkish Super League at the beginning of the season till now. Now, these are his statistics on your screen for the game Fenerbahce played against Allianspor. No joke. Alexander Djiku is putting in the work in Turkey. He's really doing well. And see, don't be surprised if after 2 seasons, Alexander Djiku ends up in the English Premier League, because this kind of, statistics is no fluke. The guy is really doing well in Turkey. And I believe he needs to be commended for the kind of performance he's giving to Fenerbahce. And let's not forget, Fenerbahce are a very strong side. Fenerbahce are a very strong side in Turkey. They are also playing in Europe. So, guys, this is the latest update concerning Alexander Djiku, and we wish him all the best. Alexander Djiku, keep on performing. We pray that you don't get any injury. No, you go the whole season without injury. Amen. So, guys, moving away from Alexander Djiku, Tariq Lamptey, who plays for Brighton and Hove Albion, featured for Brighton and Hove Albion as they play against Bournemouth. Now, I'm talking about Antoine Semenyo, who also played that game. Both players started off the bench, so it was more or less like Tariq Lamptey versus Antoine Semenyo. Both players started off the bench, but Tariq Lamptey had a very small minutes in that game. By the end of the day, Brighton and Hove Albion won that game 3-1. But Bournemouth were not able to hold Brighton and Hove Albion. Even though they scored the first goal, they were not able to hold them to actually get a point or all full 3 points in that game. But the fact that our players are getting few game times in this kind of games is what excites me. You see, to me, the results don't excite me. If they score, yes, that's bonus. But the fact that they are getting game time, because some players don't get game time, and sometimes it worries me. It even affects your form. It even affects how you play in the national team. But if you are getting game time, it boosts your morale. It gives you momentum. When you come even into the national team, you know that, Mama games be like, that kind of vim comes into you when you are playing for the national team, because you have played some few games, competitive ones, and then you bring that same expertise, that same energy, that same morale into the national team. So seeing Tariq Lamptey and then Antoine Semenyo get some few game time in the English Premier League over the weekend excites me a lot. And also, they were not the only ones that got some game time. Mohamed Kudus also got a game time. And I'm going to say this, if Paqueta keeps on playing the way he's playing, honestly, Mohamed Kudus would have to readjust to a certain role in West Ham. Now, I get a lot of people complaining that Mohamed Kudus was supposed to start for West Ham way longer than the time he was brought in against Liverpool. He played around 15 minutes in that game. Now, people are saying, why is David Moyes not bringing Mohamed Kudus in early? See, Mohamed Kudus is seen as a replacement for Paqueta. Now, Paqueta is doing so also. Now, they are trying to give Mohamed Kudus another role in that West Ham setup. And every time you notice Mohamed Kudus comes in as a sub for West Ham, he comes in to replace Mikel Antonio. And then in the game against Liverpool, he was playing as a centre forward. At a point, he was playing as a centre forward. So people were complaining that, what is David Moyes doing? Yes, what is David Moyes doing? I don't even blame the coach, because Paqueta is playing well. See, West Ham versus Liverpool, in a game where they are playing a high-profile game, Paqueta looked apart. He was playing a very good football. And this is no fluke. The guy is very good. A Brazilian player who is playing as a central midfielder, a CM. But off the ball, he's doing the duties of a DM, a defensive midfielder. You see every reason why the coach would love to even keep him for the full 90 minutes, rather than, taking him out maybe in the 70th minute for Mohamed Kudus to come and play. So, as for Mohamed Kudus, if maybe that whole betting issue don't keep Paqueta out, Mohamed Kudus might not get a lot of game time in the EPL the way we want it to be. Unless maybe some injuries happen, or Paqueta gets some game match ban for the whole betting incident. But looking at the way Paqueta is playing right now, honestly, Mohamed Kudus will be coming off the bench a lot. Unless maybe he brings in something different to the table. Because that's what I see. He's going to come off the bench. And looking at the players that play up front, Charlie, Obiaya do a West Ham. Everybody the force. Mikel Antonio, they give you this thing. Bowen, they give you goals. Everything. So guys, this is just my thought on Mohamed Kudus. Even though I don't want to talk about it, but this is just my thought on the fact that Mohamed Kudus is going to start off the bench for West Ham until maybe something, happens. That's my point. So guys, let me know yours down below in the comment section. These are the few things we want to touch on today's video. Ghana versus Rwanda. The Black Queens are going to play tomorrow, 4 p.m. We'll make sure to bring you every highlight. We did that when they played the first leg. We'll make sure to bring you that when they play the second leg here in Ghana, 4 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. It is free. So please make sure to go and support the Black Queens. And also, Chris Hughton is doing a wonderful job. He's scouting a lot of players here in the Ghana Premier League and also in the Division 1 leagues that they are playing. So guys, let me know your thoughts about all this down below in the comment section. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next video, Charlie. We go vibe.